Hi, it's Kevin again. The last video we talked about Mystery of Babylon, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, and we talked about the ancient Babylonian religion, how it went through, how it spread throughout the world, and when the high priesthood went into Turkey, and then later was transferred to Rome, and how it spread throughout the world. And today I want to continue with that topic. I want to pick up where we left off and talk about Daniel 11:20. It says that the Antichrist, the king of the north, will send out a tax collector to maintain the royal splendor. So today we're going to talk about the Rothschilds and the history of the Rothschilds and how they're related to the United Nations and to the Vatican. They're the international bankers, the Rothschilds are, and how they're related to the secret societies throughout the world, how they control the governments, they control the media. So we want to begin by talking about the first Rothschild, whose name was Mayer Amschel Bauer, and he changed the name to Rothschild because of a red shield that was on the door of their house. It was a six-pointed star, and Rothschild means red shield in German, and that's where he lived, was in Germany. Now, the Rothschilds began as international bankers, and he worked alongside with a Jesuit priest named Adam Weishaupt, and together they formed the Illuminati. In 1776 they created the Illuminati. And remember the Jesuits, if you go back into history, into the Protestant Reformation, the Jesuits were the branch of the Roman Catholicism. The Jesuit priests were trained. They actually took oaths to kill, even on the Pope's command. They were trained to infiltrate various organizations, to go in and overthrow organizations, overthrow leaders, to use those organizations to get into positions of authority in those organizations where they could control them for the Vatican's ends, for the Vatican's purposes. And the Illuminati went in and infiltrated the Freemasons. This was at a time when the United States was being formed, and they went in and they actually created the occult design. It was a French Freemason that created the occult design in Washington, D.C. They also created three central banks in the United States. The first one was overthrown by a president. The second one was overthrown by Abraham Lincoln. The third one was created in 1913. It's called the Federal Reserve, which now still exists. Began printing paper money, which have the Star of Saturn on the back of the $1 bill, and also the Eye of Lucifer in a pyramid on the back of the $1 bill. Those are Luciferian satanic symbols, because the central bank is not federal in any way. It's not controlled by the federal government. It was created by the bankers. It was passed through because they paid off Woodrow Wilson. It was created, it's controlled by them. They print the money, they decide how much money is printed, how much is pulled out of the system, how much the money is worth, where the money goes, and they control the entire currency. And that's why their symbol, their logos are on the back of the $1 bill. They like to call it Lucifer, but it's actually Satan. Satan was the fallen angel from heaven. His name was Lucifer before he fell. Now his name is Satan. But they create secret societies, and many of the world leaders belong to these secret societies: the Freemasons, the Shriners, the Bohemian Grove, Skull and Bones, and on and on. They have many secret societies they control. If you go to Alex Jones' website, he was able to successfully go in and shoot some secret footage of the Bohemian Grove, the worship of the owl called Moloch, which is actually satanic worship. It's the worship of Lucifer, and they do mock possibly human sacrifice, and These are the people that run this world, that have sold their souls to Lucifer, to Satan, in exchange for power, prestige, and pleasure. And if you find out who some of the members of the Bohemian Grove are, you'll find out that it's presidents of the United States, all the most recent presidents of the United States, the leaders in media, leaders of the music industry, leaders of the war machines, leaders of governments throughout the world. They all belong to the Bohemian Grove, or they belong to the Masons, Shriners, all these different Skull and Bones, other societies, secret societies throughout the world. Bohemian Grove also has the Catholic patron saint of silence. You go back to the Freemasons, we'll go back to the Freemasons again. The Freemasons, actually, one of the high Freemasons created the Mafia. And so these secret societies are all interrelated. Many of the world leaders throughout this world, in all forms of government and business, belong to these secret societies. And you can learn more about it if you go to my book At the End of Time. You can see it at theendofTime.info and click on the links for more details. Okay, now we want to go back to the history of why all this happened in Germany. If you look at it, the Rothschilds come from Germany, Rockefellers come from Germany, the Pope Benedict XVI comes from Germany, Hitler was dictator over Germany, and the Temple of Zeus that was in Pergamum is now in a museum in Berlin, Germany, and that was called the Seat of Satan. It's not the temple, but part of the temple, the altar. The Seat of Satan is now in Berlin, Germany. And this area is where the Khazars settled back in the 7th century A.D. when Rome had people come in to defend them from the invaders, from the Muslim invaders at the time. Part of the Huns was the Khazars, and they settled in that area which was called Khazaria in Europe. And they had, as a symbol, they had a 6-pointed star. It was an occult symbol, sometimes called the Star of Jupiter or the Star of Saturn. And that star is two triangles, one right side up, one upside down, representing male and female. And that was the Khazar symbol. In the 8th century A.D., the king of the Khazaria was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He was stuck between becoming Catholic or becoming Muslim, and they chose, for all the Khazaria, they chose to become Talmudic Jews. And remember, the Talmud included the Mishnah, which was the oral traditions that were written down by the Jews. And about 200 A.D., they were Antichrist principles, traditions of the elders, had nothing to do with the Bible. It was just their oral traditions that were written down, and very things that Jesus had problems with, and why they crucified him and everything. They're Antichrist principles, and it fell right in line with what the Khazars wanted to do. So they became Talmudic Jews, and later when Amschel Bauer, who we'll call Rothschild now, Amschel Mayer Rothschild, when he came on the scene, he learned to, they got their name from that 6-pointed star that was on their door, and that's the German word for red shield. Rothschild is the German word for red shield, and that's why he changed the name to Rothschild. Okay, he learned how to loan money to governments, because he got a lot of interest from it, and the loans were practically guaranteed. And when two nations went to war with each other, if he loaned money to both sides in the war, then he still made out, because the winner of the war had to pay the loans from both sides.